Good evening. My name is Cassandra Casillas and welcome to NTV English News. Mongolians will celebrate Lunar New Year early next month. Lamb and beef are the main dishes of the traditional holiday. Prime Minister Batbold met with meat dealers and flour producers this week to find solutions to stabilize meat prices, which have skyrocketed in recent months.
During the meeting with the Prime Minister on Monday, leading meat dealers argued that the spread of foot and mouth disease in the eastern region justified an increase in meat prices. Government officials did not rule out a price increase. Meat dealers in the eastern region are the main providers of meat in the capital city. Starting last autumn, the government banned meat imports from the region to prevent the further spread of foot and mouth disease. Starting on 15th of January, the government decided to provide meat to the local market using the National Meat Reserve to silence the growing anger related with higher meat prices. Currently, more than 230 stores are selling meat along with the larger meat markets. The Prime Minister also discussed stabilisation of flour prices. The 3-month period between April and July will effectively be a tax holiday for flour producers, as the government has agreed to reduce VAT to 5% for those 3 months. Leading flour producers, however, are demanding that the tax relief period be extended for 12 months. Prime Minister Batbold agreed to consider this proposal. He also urged meat and flour producers to find solutions to decrease prices.
Residents of Dalanzagad are still unable to receive proper heat and electricity services due to technical problems in the main power station. Officials say that they still have not been able to fix the damage in the main power generator of the station.
Following technical damages to 2 Japanese-built generators, town officials have restricted the electricity supply. Currently, a telecommunications centre and a local hospital are receiving a small amount of electricity. After the accident at the power station, a team of engineers was sent to Dalanzagad to fix the problem. But the engineers concluded that it was impossible to repair the generators in Mongolia. Government officials are currently discussing whether to send the generators back to Japan for repair or to request that Japanese engineers are sent to Mongolia to fix the generators. But the engineers concluded that it was impossible to repair the generators in Mongolia. Government officials are currently discussing whether to send the generators back to Japan for repair or to request that Japanese engineers are sent to Mongolia to fix the generators. Currently, power station officials are forced to use a gasoline engine which costs more than 24 million tugrugs a day. The Mongolian government built the $13 million power station in 1997. Prior to the accident, the power station provided electricity to 5 SUMs.
MCS Group has signed a contract with the government to build a gas plant in the capital city. Company officials have promised that the project will decrease the city's air pollution significantly over the next 2 years.
Following a declaration by the Mongolian president that air pollution is a threat to national security, the Mongolian government has committed to implementing measures to reduce air pollution in Ulaanbaatar by 60%. Currently, more than 65% of the city's population live in GAR districts, and the GARs are heated by coal in the winter season. According to the contract, MCS Group is to hand over ownership of the gas plant in 2012. The plant has the capacity to produce 100,000 tonne of gas for heating each year. Company officials are also planning to increase the production up to 200,000 tonne per year. Gas heating is a healthier and more eco-friendly solution to the coal traditionally used to keep houses warm. However, Mongolians still see fossil fuel or coal as the most effective product to provide warmth in freezing winter temperatures. MCS Group has recommended that the government provide households with manuals on how to use a gas heater. The company's project will not only decrease the air pollution, it will also create more jobs in the capital city.
The number of cases of human trafficking has increased dramatically in recent years. Some human rights organizations are criticizing police officials for failing to do enough to combat organized crime such as human trafficking.
Human rights activists have been urging Mongolian police to set up a witness protection program. They claim that victims or witnesses of organised crime often contact NGOs rather than police or security officials. For example, the Centre of Gender Equality helped 46 women last year who were victims of human trafficking. The centre advocates that these victims need proper legal advice, counselling and other support. NGOs are urging the authorities to implement tougher laws against human trafficking and to develop a witness protection program in Mongolia. Human rights activists are also urging government officials to more closely inspect international marriages, which now make up 13% of all marriages in South Korea. The majority of these marriages are unions between a Korean male and a foreign female from China, Japan, Vietnam, the Philippines, the United States, Mongolia, Thailand, or Russia. Police officials have also reported several cases of Mongolian women being sexually or mentally abused by their Korean husbands. The majority of human trafficking cases involving Mongolian women have occurred in China, where women are lured to travel by the offer of good jobs.
In the last 5 years, cancer has become the second most common cause of death among women in Mongolia. Approximately 70% of cancer victims sought medical treatment in the later stages of the disease.
Approximately 3,000 people die due to cancer each year in Mongolia. Liver, stomach, lung and cervical cancer are the most common. Medical practitioners recommend vaccines for cervical cancer. The vaccines are targeted at girls and women from the age of 9 to 26 because the vaccine only works if given before infection occurs. The vaccines are targeted at girls and women from the age of 9 to 26 because the vaccine only works if given before the infection occurs. The vaccines have been shown to be effective for at least 4 to 6 years, and it is believed they could be effective for longer. The use of the vaccine in men to prevent genital warts, anal cancer, and possible prevention of the transmission to women or other men is initially considered only a secondary market. The high cost of this vaccine, however, is prohibitive. The human papillomavirus, or HPV, is the cause of cervical cancer. Women can contract HPV through sexual acts, and the virus can live in the human body for more than 20 years. This is why public health workers recommend the widespread introduction of regular cervical cancer screening.
Thank you for joining us on this week's edition of English News.
Улс орон болоод дэлхийд дахинд болсон онцлог үйл явдлуудыг томилон хүрэхэд юм байна. Эх 7 хоногт энэ цогтой уулзлаа. Баяртай үзэгчдээ.